Hi guys and welcome. These are your handover videos for your Swift Corniche 20-4. Starting off at the front, you've got your hitch head. You've got your hitch head and then your black lever. You have to have your black lever pulled up and then wind the jockey wheel down onto your tow ball. Once it's on, that black lever will snap down, exposing a green ring and pushing up this red button. You've got a handbrake just here and a breakaway cable underneath. If you've got an eye point for your breakaway cable, legally it has to be used. Jockey wheel just here, used to wind it up and down. Then you've got 13-pin towing electric. So if you do have 7-pin on your car, make sure to bring yourself an adapter. You may lose a few functions whilst towing, but all the legalities will be there. 2 points either side and 2 points at the back. You have inserts for your legs. You can either use the leg winder which comes with the caravan, or get yourself a 19mm drill bit and a power drill, attach it onto the legs and wind them down. Do not attempt to jack up or level the caravan using your legs. First level using your jockey wheel, which can be seen from front to back, making sure that they're the same height, and then put down all 4 corner stays. Now we're using our test equipment today here, so you can see I've got a red propane colour bottle. You can use butane, you can use flow gas. I'd always recommend propane though, and colour's usually the easiest to find. Got an intake gas hose on here, connected onto this regulator. Now this is a dual regulator, so you can have 2 gas hoses on each side. I'm just using this side for now. Once both sides are firmly connected, open up your bottle in the positive direction like so, and there you can see as well on the regulator it exposes a green ring, meaning that it is now active and gas is flowing into the caravan. Heading around this side, starting off, you've got your flue. Flue is used to get clean air in and out of your boiler. Don't have to do anything with this except make sure it's nice and clean. No leaves or anything like that. Got an ack roll full of clean drinking water just here, and your water pump. Water pump connects into this part here. To remove it, you press in on the trigger to get it in. Just press in like so. Got a plastic cap just here to go over the top of the ack roll. Then if I just grab it at the end, you can see I've got a strainer. Strainer has to sit at the bottom of the barrel, and that is very crucial, as otherwise it will just gasp air through. Now they do have a little bit of a tendency to curl up, so I've got 2 recommendations: either straighten it out every time before use, or get yourself some white PVC pipe or hose pipe, something like that. Doesn't even have to be white, you know, any colour PVC pipe does. I don't know why I'm lingering on this point, but just insert it around the actual thing itself, just so it's continually straight. Next to it, you've got your battery locker. This example does have a battery already fitted, but that's where it would sit, and then your insert for your mains lead. You also have your insert behind it for your motor mover. We will show you how the motor mover works on collection. Heading along the caravan, you have 2 inserts here, and that is where your wastewater will come out of. You'll need some 28.5mm waste pipe to feed into a waste master that you can then take to your emptying point on site. Then lastly, we have your functions for your toilet. Top one here, this is for your flush tank. It can hold around 12 litres of water. I'd recommend putting in about 10, as you don't want to overfill it. And also, if you're feeling a bit fanciful, a little bit of pink chemical, which works as a bleach without being corrosive and just makes it smell a bit nicer. Feed that into there using something like a watering can. Then below, you have your cassette toilet. When the cassette toilet is full, there'll be a light that comes on, and I'll show you where that is. To remove it, press up on the orange handle and pull out just like so. Can also extend that out and pull it out, and it turns into a little bit of a suitcase. Then when you get your emptying point on site, twist this head to the side, open up that cap, tilt, and at the same time as tilting, continually pressing this button here to vent. Now what I recommend this isn't a necessity, this is only a recommendation. Afterwards, open up that cap there, twist that to the side, fill in some fresh water, shut it back up, and put this back in. There we go. Bit of a shake, and then tilt and vent. Then on this cap here you have measurements of both freedom units and metric. Put your blue chemical into that cap, measure it up how much you want, back onto the cap just like so. Twist the head to the side, push the cassette toilet so that that orange handle sits behind those white teeth, and then you don't have to do anything else because it's locked into place. However, you don't want to travel with either of these two full, so to fully empty the flush tank, you've got a little bung up here, empty it out, drains off any remaining water. The caravan will have been fully drained before you leave. Then underneath your right hand side seat, you have your boiler, which can be accessed by just removing these cushions here. And then you've got that yellow switch there, horizontal position right now, meaning it's allowing the flow of water to come through. When it's in the vertical position, that means any water inside the system is being drained out. So November to March, I'd recommend having that up permanently, as otherwise any water inside the system is just going to freeze and then burst the pipes. And then anytime you just come off site, just give it a quick drain off. Just here, you've got your battery charger, right? That's there. Then you've got your trips and fuses up top here. All your trips in the upright position, all your fuses in the correct position. You can see both spare, heating and hot water and charger are all illuminated, meaning that they are all active and working. Then you have a reverse polarity button just here, and then a system shutdown button. Press that in, nothing inside the caravan operates. If you need a little bit more information on your trips and fuses, pull down this board, tells you what fuses do what, and a little other bits of information. This blue box here, that is your brain box for your motor mover. If you ever need to do a reset, it's through this box. Then just here we have your main control panel. As you can see, power is on, green light comes up there, shows mains is coming into the caravan. If you're plugged in with the car, it will show that. You have a view levels button here, which shows currently right now 14 volts is coming into the caravan. If it's a case you're not plugged in with mains, that will give an accurate representation of the leisure battery voltage. You can also press in on that button there to view that, and same goes for when you're plugged into the vehicle battery. Then just here, you've got your water pump button. Press that in, and that kicks in the water pump. Now, what you have to do for that is wait 2 to 3 minutes, let the water circulate through, especially if you haven't used the caravan in a fair bit of time. It is a little bit loud, especially when it's first drawing through the water, but that's just how it's supposed to sound. And eventually it will get quieter after it stops sucking through the water. The boiler itself is 18 litres. Then come over to your taps, run it on both cold and hot, and you can see them nice thick streams there. What you're looking for is those nice thick streams, and what I'd say, run it for about 30 seconds, and if there's any coughs or splutters, go outside and make sure your strainer is sat inside the water barrel at the bottom. But as you can see, both cold and hot, both sides nice and hot. Obviously not going to run it for a ridiculous amount of time, as I've only just turned on the actual water pump itself. But quick summary: power on, view levels, water pump, simple as. Then just next to it you've got your truma control panel. This here is a dial but also a button, and then you've got a back button just there. So press in on the dial. First up, motorhome with the thermometer in it. This is for the internal temperature of the caravan that you desire. Using the dial, you turn whatever temperature you want, so let's say 22. I press in, and that selects 22, and that's the temperature that the caravan will get to. Obviously, if it's hotter outside, it's not going to get to that temperature, it's just going to sort of do nothing really. Next up, you've got your water temperature, so you can either have that off, 40 degrees, 60 degrees, or boost. And what boost does, it prioritizes the water temperature over the heating of the caravan. So it will boost the water heat for about 15 minutes, and then drop it back down to 40 degrees, boosting it to 60, 15 minutes, drop it back down. So that's ideal for a shower or something like that in the morning. Then you've got energy source. So you can either run the heating and hot water off strictly gas, a mixture of gas and 1 kilowatt of mains, mixture of gas 2 kilowatt of mains, strictly electric with 1 or 2 kilowatt of mains. Then to select, press in on the dial. Then you come to this fan icon. So right now, because I'm using the heating, I can either have it on eco, high, eco or high. Eco is just a nice steady stream. High is like a bit more vicious burst. However, if I go back to this, there we go. Oh, wrong one, I'm on settings. Go back to the van temperature and turn that to off, and then go to the fan icon. You get off or vent, and what vent does, it will just push out air from the vent. However, you open up all your windows and it will circulate nice fresh air across the caravan. Then you've got timer. This is just allowing you to set when you'd like the heating and hot water to come on and then off. It is a 24-hour clock, so you just set it to whatever time. And then you've got the actual time just here. So I've had the caravan set up, so it currently thinks it's 11 minutes to 8 even. Just set it to the correct time of day. It will reset itself after you've used it and completely turned it off. And then you've got additional settings. I'm not going to run through these. These are something for you to have a look in your book pack for, but index, brightness, language, reset, offset, and that's it. Then to turn this system off, press and hold this middle button in. Comes up, says off, and will turn itself off. This screen will naturally go green even when it's active if it hasn't been touched in a while, just so it doesn't disturb you whilst you sleep. Then just here, if my camera would focus, you've got your Dometic fridge operation. Turn this on, press and hold in on this button here. There we go. You have to press and hold. It was already on. It will flash up and turn blue. You have 3 different choices for source. You can either use 13-pin electric, so when you're plugged into your car, that is not leisure battery, that is when you're plugged into your car. So if you have an adapter, for instance, you won't be able to use that setting as it is something for one of the pins. Then you've got gas, which you might have just heard gradually begin to tick in. Once the gas has stopped ticking in, that means it is then lit. And then you have mains. Open up the caravan, you can see it's blue when it's on. If there's any hazard, so for instance, let me press this for a second, begin to flash up and beep at you. Then to change the amount of power coming into the fridge, 5 being the thickest, so it's going to have the most power coming into the fridge, chilling it the quickest, you press this button here, 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5. Turn this off, press and hold in on this button, no more LEDs, it's then off. Then you've got your hob, grill and oven operation. So everything bar the electric plate runs off gas. For that, you just twist it to whatever gas mark and it will get hot. Everything else, it's a case press in on the dial, twist it to the side, begin to feed gas through and then press the igniter. This is what it looks like when they're lit. As you can see, nice blue clean continuous flames. Turn that off, flick it back to the central position. Then for the grill, as you can see, both sides nice and lit. Hold up, let me get down. There you go. And then lastly, the oven. Let me see if I am trick enough to do this with one hand. Turn on. Yeah, there we go. Nice blue clean continuous flames. Then you have to travel with this glass sheet down because otherwise you'll plunk. But make sure all of these burners are nice and cold to the touch. So right now they're hot, gotta keep it up and put it down when they're nice and cold. And lastly, we've got the toilet operation, which you may say is bog simple. Open this up, press this button here, and you can hear that motor in the background. It is very quiet, but that's how they're designed. That motor is what will push around the water inside the system. Then to release your waste into the cassette, press this handle away, opens up the cassette, pull it back and shuts it up. You have to have it pulled back towards you to be able to remove the cassette. Then once the cassette is full, a red light will come on underneath there telling you to empty it.